Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now, we're back on my free-to-play account, and of course, we have grinded all the way up to the batchat. We've completed the next goal to get the next tier 10. However, this is a big problem with the game. I will talk about what I mean just after we run by the stats. So at the moment, unfortunately, I can't afford all the equipment because I don't have enough credits. But the tank, how it is, the first lot of equipment that I've got, of course, the armor profile on the batchat is nothing special. You can get the troll bounce, but on the turret, but very, very rare. Your DPM 2716, that is a 17.59 second magazine reload. You've got 3 shells in your magazine with 2.8 second intraclip between each shell. Your penetration is 247 on your APCR, 330 on your heat, and 57 on your HE. You've got a 350 alpha gun, 300 on your heat, and 400 on your HE. You'll hear my son in the background, he's cheering me on, I think. Your aim time is 3.3 and your gun dispersion is 0.326. You do only have 6 degrees of gun depression, but you do have a top speed of 65 kilometers per hour. Now, the equipment I run, so I always run these. The spool liner on something like this, you have to run. The pate you have to run, and of course the cross-ops you have to run, in my opinion. And then moving over to the consumables, I always run both repair kits and then the shell reload boost, which gives your intraclip reload a little bit less. So that is what I run. So what is the problem I'm talking about? Now, the problem's not with me, the problem's not with the tank, the problem is with the game. Now, I have so far 1,346 battles on my free-to-play account, which is not a lot. I would consider that as still a newer player in the game. Now, for those real newer players in the game, of course, it's not me. Yes, I've started a new account, but I've played for 10 years. The biggest problem is newer players and how they can grind. I mean, I have now got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've managed, I'm including the premium tanks that I've won as well. So 4, I've got 5 there with the E100, I've got 6 there with the grill, and I've got 7 with the Leopard 1. 1,300 battles, and I've managed to get 7 tier 10 tanks. That is an awful lot of tanks. Yes, again, I was lucky. I got some bonus codes, etc. But you know, just because I've got a bonus code from Tankfest, a new player could have gone to Tankfest and got a bonus code as well. So we're really talking about the grinding. I mean, I've got what, the batchat, the Leopard, the E100, and the grill. So, you know, 4 tech tree tier 10s in 1,300 battles. That is not a lot of battles, and that is a lot of tier 10s for that many battles. And that is where the problem lies, because you will have newer players in the game who grind up the line and they're not ready. Some players are not ready for tier 10 after 1,000 battles, let alone 4 tier 10s. So that for me is where the problem lies ahead. They should not, like brand new players, should not be able to grind up the line so quick and get so many tier 10s in that many battles. It should be, I would go as far as saying at least 1,000 battles for a tier 10, maybe. So to get 4 tier 10s, you would need 4,000 battles. That, you know, for a newer player, I think that's more realistic, you know, because not only that, but they get tier 10, you know, they're not good at the game. They get to the grill, for example, realize that they are no good in the grill. They are absolutely shit in the grill. And then they go and get another tier 10, like an E100, and then realize, oh, I'm shit in the E100. You know, something like the grill, for example. Let them take a while. It has to take a while to grind the lines. At least then after, say, 1,000 battles, they may be ready for the grill because the line is similar. You know, the whole line's got no armor, for example. The waffle, the Borzik, they all play very similar to the grill. So why not change it? You know, why? It's the same as the E100. You've got the Tiger 2, the E75. You mastered them tanks, you may be ready for the E100. I know there's some tanks out there, like the Death Star. You could play the 80 the AT-15 or the Tortoise for 10,000 battles, and then you get to the Death Star and it's completely different. You know, that's a little bit different, because I still don't think that the Death Star should be there. I think it should be the Badger, because it's more realistic. It's more like the other tanks in the line. But overall, you know, I've still got my target, and then I am going to start my new line. So I've got the batchat. The batchat, I think, is absolutely fantastic. Of course, for a newer player, that you can really struggle in the tank. If you know how to play it, it can be very brutal. You know, it's a light tank after all. You can't expect to bounce everything, and you can't expect to do a massive amount of damage every game, because at the end of the day, if you play the light tank as it should be played, then you shouldn't really be doing massive amount of damage anyway. Of course, you can still pick up damage very easily in this thing, because you've got the magazine. You do 1,000 damage roughly, and then you move on to your next target, and then again, if you get your 3 shots out, that's another 1,000 damage. So potentially with 2 magazines, you can have 2,000 damage, which is more than acceptable. You know, if everyone ends the game with 2,000 damage, you've done a pretty good job. But of course, you still want to do more damage. I get that everyone wants to do more damage, but I'm just saying, with something like the batchat, you can do it as easy as just 2 magazines, and then you have done your job. So that is the batchat. I'm glad I've got there, because I do really love the batchat, and overall I think I've really enjoyed the grind, to be fair. I really have, and I didn't think I would. I thought I would not like the grind until I got to the batchat, but overall, you know, I've really enjoyed the grind. So then that means I am then on to my next grind, and I've made it the new Polish TDs. Why not? I haven't grinded it on my main account, so let's grind it on my free to play account. We're going to start with tier 6. I do need to get the tier 5, and still, because I'm going to play it, I'm not going to review it. I'm going to get to tier 6, and then at least then I can review the whole line as I'm playing it on my free to play account. So that is the batchat. I've got there my 4th tech tree tank in under 1,500 battles. Let me know what you think of the game as I've just explained. Is it a problem for you? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.